it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on a very important part of understanding narcissistic behavior and understanding your role, your place, the impact that it has on you. And that is to understand that the narcissistic or psychopathic brainwashing, gaslighting, and insults that they will give unto their supply does not define you. I find that oftentimes that is the exact place where people get stuck. They get stuck on obsessing, mulling over in their mind, repeating images and flashbacks of their experiences with this narcissistic or psychopathic individual. They tend to replay it in their mind. They tend to be forlorn. They tend to be heartbroken. They tend to ruminate. They tend to brood. They tend to stay stuck imagining that the illusion is reality, imagining that the love bombing is the future of the relationship, imagining that the perfectionist guidepost that the narcissist or psychopathic individual set in place for them for the standards of this relationship, that this is going to define their reality. And it's very difficult for them to cleanse their aura of this image. So it's very important to realize that this is how the narcissist or psychopathic individual gets you implanted in their mind. They become more important to you than you become to your own self. They become more influential on your life than you become influential on yourself. They become the leader of your life rather than you leading your own life. You become responsible to them rather than you becoming responsible to yourself. You become accountable to them and serving their illusion, their perfectionist standards, their needs for supply to bolster up them rather than you becoming accountable to yourself and leading yourself. You become enmeshed with them. You become led by them. They become more important to you because of their inflated sense of self-importance. That is, in essence, energetically becomes projected onto you, so you absorb that. And then the error is when you then accept that. You accept that this individual is more important to you than you are to yourself. In essence, you then become dependent on this person because they are so very important. You become dependent on the things that they say. You become dependent on the things that they do. You become dependent on knowing omnipotently where they're at all times. This then develops the suspiciousness, the hypervigilance, the fear, the guilt, the brainwashing then where you feel like you have to become a super sleuth and wonder where they're at. They tend to basically take, rental up in your mind. They tend to take space up in your mind. It's in essence like a client so adeptly stated. It's like they hijack your mind, or he didn't say hijack. He said hack. But it is almost like they hijack your mind. They basically take it over and direct it. And you're no longer at the pilot seat. You're no longer at the driver's seat. You're no longer directing your life. You're incorporating and ingratiating them. Yet this is not always in your best interest. Your best interest is what brings you joy, happiness, peace, abundance, sense of self-empowerment, and connectedness to life and others around you. Yet how can it be productive for you if you're connected with someone who does not have a lack of empathy or has no understanding of who you are, what you need, or where you're at, and shows no interest in that, shows no ability for that, and gives no time or credence to you and what you've been through? It's in essence an ongoing chronic disrespect. And this creates a lot of stress. And oftentimes people then react to the stress by working harder for this person in the relationship. So in essence, this person hijacks their mind. They become more important to them than they are to themselves. So really you need to draw it back in. Learn to come back to yourself. Relax in your body. Get out of the fight or flight that keeps you in stress and pressure trying to live up to their perfectionist standards, draw the line, come back and relax within yourself, and release and let go. It's very important to have that release. Release the judgment that they have held over you. Release the insults that they have mirrored back to you as a negative validation for who you are. Your reality is not their insults. Your reality is not their criticism. Your reality is not their perfectionist standards. Your reality is not their lies. That is the illusion, that is the atmosphere, that is the relationship that they would seek to have you believe and get you sucked into. Because as they absorb others who can take care of them, satisfy their ego needs, constantly be making them feel better through constant texting, validation, updating on Facebook, likes this, likes that, it becomes exhausting, and it's what we call other-centered or constantly other-focused. And this is not really how your life is meant to be lived. You need, as we mentioned, to have this internal locus of control, not striving for that external validation, validating from this narcissist or psychopath, this individual who cannot validate you. It's important to have that internalized. It's important to validate yourself. It's a change, a shift of energy, and a shift of permission, and a shift of basically being able to validate yourself, commend yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And as you do that, you become stronger and more connected and more aligned through your body, mind, and spirit. And you don't feel the propensity or need to be directed based on pleasing others. What's more important is that you define your reality. You define your values. You define and connect with others who remind you of who you are, or who connect with you who you are, who have the ability to love you, who have the ability to understand you, who have the ability to not play those charades, not play those games, not get caught up in the falsehood and the cattiness and the superficial lies and sweet nothings that is really the bulk of the narcissist and psychopathic relationship. So remember, their games do not define you. Their insults do not define you. Let that go. Go through a release. Let it go. Release those 100% and then come back into your body and relax and release and realize that you are good enough. You do have the talent. You do have the communication. You do have the ability to love, and you do have the ability to have fulfilling relationships. It's just that you have been stunted and stifled by an individual who does not have that ability. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.